Nope, we got Alp Ozkilic joining us.
I mean, I don't know. I've been around Stipe's
What up?
wife one time. Oh shit.
What's good, Alp?
What's
Al,
good with
what's
you
up,
guys?
dude?
What's up, bro?
What are you doing?
I walked inside too. I was in my friend's backyard. I walked in to grab my drink, and I'm walking outside. So much nicer outside right now.
What are you on your
What are you
phone?
drinking?
Are you on your phone, Alp?
I am. I was trying to. Should I try to get on my computer?
No, phone's fine. I was gonna say just turn your phone sideways and we'll get a better view of you.
No, because I told you I'm working on some YouTube stuff. So I have a friend who is tech savvy, and I'll try to show you. Can I flip the camera around to show you? No, fuck it. We were actually working on this today. And then I was telling him, I was like, hey, I'm going to be on my buddy's podcast. Next time.
Oh, what do you got going on over there? What are you working on?
My buddy's, like I said, he's tech savvy. He was just helping me with some setups, like his camera and like other stuff. I'm
Okay.
figuring it out as we go.
So what's the game plan? You're gonna start the Alp Ozkilic show?
I actually have a couple of good names that we came out with. That's, I think, the biggest part right now for me. Well, you gotta have a name. You guys have a sick name, for example.
It is a good one.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty good name.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. Should I tell you guys yet?
Let's do some brainstorm. Let's throw it around. Let's mix it up. I'll give you my input.
Okay, yeah. Actually, you guys are very creative. Yes, let me actually tell you guys. Okay, first one, and the one I'm leaning towards is Alp Ozkilic Global. So I could actually go with AOG. Like, it could be a good, nice logo. You know what I mean?
What did you say?
Okay.
Alp,
So it's pretty much my initials. So it's pretty Alp Ozkilic Global. So it's AOG. You know what I mean?
okay.
What are you thinking? What do you think?
Do you have it? Can I hear them all?
The way I only have two. Other one is there's multiple, obviously. Other one is Happy Hour with Alp Ozkilic. How about that one?
Okay. And now are you gonna be?
Your name is hard to say.
Look, I know it is. I know it is.
Out of it.
I know it is, but I am gonna go with my name, man. It is my name, and people are gonna learn it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that's that's the idea too.
Look, it's a very unique name. Once you learn how to say it, it's actually not that hard. It's like the game Tekken, right? It's Alp Tekken. It's like the game Tekken. And my last name isn't that hard. It's you know who Dr. Oz is, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like that. Dr. Oz is Turkish too. So it's Ozkilic. Instead of just Oz, it's Ozkilic, right? So you just gotta put a little effort into it, Dennis. Come on.
Listen, when you're talking, like, hang on, we haven't made it yet. I'm in my basement. We're not, but people don't want to think a lot. They don't. They want just instant.
Yep.
Like, let me just receive.
Yep. But also, what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I'm really trying to have fun with this, right? Like, this whole quarantine.
Right, obviously.
Yes. And I'm not trying to make anything out of it. I'm just lucky to have friends that are famous and friends that are willing to help me just do something with this, right? And I'm not just talking about like my friends in the States, but I have also a bunch of friends back in Turkey who are celebrities, and from NBA All Stars to reality show stars to fighters. You know what I mean? So like, and I've been getting good feedback so far. So everybody's like, even Stan, Stan and I texted back and forth. He's like, dude, you're doing good. You know what I mean? So like, then that gives me a drive. And then I know there are a lot of shows out there, but somebody's gonna find what's unique in you. So somebody's gonna watch you for who you are.
Yeah, I think the more shows, the merrier, and there's always going to be people that go towards your shit. You know what I mean? Like, you'll always find your crowd if you just produce the content.
Yeah. Look, this is what I say. There are how many people are in the world?
A lot.
Like what? Billions of people, right? So I'm sure I can find about 1 million people who like me. It shouldn't be a fucking nightmare.
And even that, you're the Turkish MMA fighter. Who else is a Turkish MMA fighter?
Yeah, I mean, I was the first one. I mean, there's Gökhan Saki right now in the UFC, and he's not very active. But look, I'm always gonna be in the history books for being the first one. So why not do something with it?
Yeah, you're the trendsetter. And then even like what I saw,
I mean, you know, I like
you're doing the
I like that. Yes, that I am a trendsetter. I like that.
and even you're doing the MMA the Instagram lives I saw, and obviously, yeah, you've been trained in California, you trained on Long Island, you got a lot of friends and people, and then I saw you even talk. I couldn't understand what you were saying to the Turkish guys when you were speaking Turkish, but even like watching your interviews with Al Iaquinta and Aljamain, you have a good flow. So 100%.
Yeah.
You should definitely get into this.
I appreciate it. So it did start, like I said, it started with just some IG lives just to kill some time and catch up with my own friends. And then, you know, the better feedback I got, I was like, you know what, let me hit up more of my friends and see what we can do. And then, and I got more.
And Dana popped in, right?
Oh yeah, Dana popped into the one I did with Al. And he actually like conversed with us. He was actually interacting. That's when he said, this was the day before he announced it on ESPN that Florida card was happening.
Yeah.
And he said Fight Island was a nice back and forth interaction. You know, that definitely brought a lot of attention to you know, one of my, and I think a bunch of MMA websites featured my video with Al. But and then I also have a lot of other friends from Turkey that are way more famous out there, like, you know, bigger names like for Turkey. You know what I mean? And
when are you gonna put him on the Menace and the Man show?
Say it again.
When are you gonna put him on the Menace and the Man show?
Whenever you want. I got you.
Monday.
You
whenever, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to be on there to translate for you. So
that's what I was gonna say. If they speak English, yeah.
Like a lot of them don't. That's why maybe I got a lot more views when I did it with my Turkish friends, because it was like some of them we got like up to 7,000-8,000 views just doing Instagram live with some of them. And then
so let's get a little bit more about Alp, right? So how old are you now, Alp?
I don't know if I want to talk about that, Dennis.
Yes, I do.
I've been 29 for the last 5 years.
So 29.
So you're the
30, 31, 32, 33, 34. You're 34. You're 34? Where are you living now?
Yep, I'm 34. Yes, California.
Oh, you're in California.
Yeah, I've been here for a little over 3 years now.
Yeah, I remember when you moved out there, and you were trying.
Yes, that's when you were. And yes, you might have been a little upset with me back then because I was still fighting, and you were trying to help me. You were,
Oh no! Whoa. I was never upset with you at all. I was trying to.
I appreciate that because
we were on the same team.
Look, yes, I appreciate that because another part of this whole thing I'm doing right now, like me being able to get some friends on my IGs and stuff, because I have good credit with people. Like I have, they're, I've done good to them and they're nice to me, so they don't mind when I call someone. Even like you and I, when we text back and forth for someone to get on your show. I can call these people and hey, ask for a favor, like you know what I mean. So, I don't like being in, I don't like doing wrong to anybody, and I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, if you're not gonna like me, you're not gonna like me. Obviously, I don't care about that. But like, I don't want to be the guy who did wrong at the end of the day. You know.
Well, wait, why, Alp? Did you ever think I was upset with you?
No, but that's my principle because like we were talking about, you were trying to help with my fighting career, but when I moved out here, so I went a different direction.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That's just me.
You made the right decision, Alp.
No, but no. If anything, I was just middleman and trying to talk to promotions and help get you fights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it, and it didn't work out. My body didn't hold up that much. I'm in peace with myself now that I left it behind me. For a while, I didn't want to accept the fact that I had to be done,
Yeah, and the only reason I was in that position is because a lot of the people who put on shows, I became like drinking buddies with. So I was like, I'll throw Alp in the mix. That works, yeah.
I appreciate it. But whenever you guys are drinking, please holler at me.
Yeah.
I'm a good drinking buddy.
Oh, yeah, and then even I remember the one after party, the UFC Atlantic City. I don't remember if Dennis was there. But I remember talking to Sean Shelby about Alp, and Sean Shelby was like, he was like, you tell Alp he gets a couple fights and he's in all day. Yeah. Like, yeah, he was a big fan of yours.
Yes, Sean Shelby and I always had a good relationship, and so with Mick Maynard. I fought for Mick Maynard actually, and I was always a good company man, and I was always respectful and nice with them. I was professional, and he had nothing but nice thing to say about me. And I knew he was going to give me another shot. It was just about me not feeling as healthy. I just knew where I was when I was healthy, and I know what I'm capable of doing now. It was not. I think I made the right decision because life goes on. I'm thinking I'll probably live till I'm 70 at least. I don't know.
So
I just don't want to be hurt
right now, except for this. He's pushing for YouTube. Are you working? Are you just training?
Yeah, actually, the part of why I moved here was I was working on. I had a business opportunity here. At the same time, I had more opportunities to train here, right? So, and yeah, I have a little business going on the side, and I'm still coaching and stuff. I'm still obviously in the gym, and I'm still involved in the fight game, training people, helping friends with their fights and stuff. But yeah, my family and I do import export. I have something going on here with them. And again, me being a global person always comes in handy.
What are you doing? Illegal shit? I feel like you're like bouncing around with it.
Yeah, El Chapo right here, El Alpo.
Oh, all right.
Whoa! That's the name
for my show.
That's the name right there.
Yes, Stan. Yes. There you go.
Say it again. What's the name of your show, Alp?
Al Chapo. or Al Alpo. I don't
Either
know. Which one?
Write them both down on paper and start passing that idea around. Either El Alpo or Al Chapo.
I like El Apo.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually because El Chapo means what? Short? Is that what it means?
What does it mean?
Spanish, Dennis. Doesn't it mean like short, like a shorty or something? Dennis, do you speak Spanish?
I'm a fake Puerto Rican dude.
Oh God.
All right.
One of them.
Where in California are you? You're probably next to a Mexican right now.
No, Huntington Beach is about 3 hours from Mexico.
Oh, so you're next to some basic bitches and shit like that, like white people. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of white people.
We'll be out there next weekend.
God. Yeah. I love basic bitches.
Bro,
know.
Huntington Beach, Menace, you've been there. Yeah, you were out there many times.
I have.
When I went out to Newport Beach, I was like, this is fucking heaven. Heaven.
Yeah. Bro, I'll tell you. Good thing I didn't move here when I was in my prime while I was fighting. Because I wouldn't be able to train. And I know good people. Like, I have good network here now. Like, I'm able to party when I want to. Like, I get to go to some sick parties. I'm glad I'm more mature now and I go out as much as I want to go out. Like, nobody really influences me. You know what I mean? So it could have been bad if I was, like, young and dumb, like, dumber. I'm still dumb, but, like, what if I was dumber? So.
But, yeah, you got to do the same thing that Menace is doing with Menace and the Man. Use your blood money, the relationships you've built up over the years of putting in fucking work, and you could definitely turn it into something. Look at Rogan, Schaub, everybody. There's some podcasts out there. Bisping, Matt Serra with Unfiltered. There's definitely a lane for guys to do something.
And again, like I don't want to think like, well, everybody's doing it, because like that kind of brings me down sometimes. I'm like, do I want to do what everybody's doing it? Not that I'm trying to compete with any of these big guys, obviously. I just want to have fun with this. Huh?
Yeah, because we'll kick your ass.
Yeah. You can kick my ass, and I would probably kick Stan's ass. So okay, I'll take it.
Oh no, I was good, Alp. We never trained together. No, me and Alp never trained together back in the day.
No, we never did. But I mean, yeah, true. I shouldn't make assumptions. You're a tough guy. First of all, you're from New York.
I'm fucked
sure
up.
You hold your own.
Well, 125. I remember I fucked up Scott Jorgensen when he came in the gym.
Oh, no way.
He was 125.
Yeah, you're 4 weight classes above him.
That's what I'm saying. He was 125. Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, Scott Jorgensen, man, he was from some of the good times. Like, it's interesting, and I'll tell you guys here too. So people always ask me how I got into the UFC and how I, yada yada yada. I didn't know what the UFC was. Up until I even started training. Like, I knew of the UFC, but I never like sat down and watched a fight in a bar or something. One of the first shows I ever watched was WEC. So I was still in college, and I had one of the campus houses, like one of the college houses, and my buddy hooked up, illegal cable, and I had Versus channel Versus on my cable. And so WEC was one of the first shows I ever saw. And like one of the first guys was Faber, Dominic Cruz, Brian Bowles. Razor Rob, Donald Cerrone, Scott Jorgensen. I didn't even know Scott Jorgensen's name at the time. I'd be like, the guy with the messed up skin. Like, that's how I would call him. I didn't know his name. Like, I didn't know Uriah Faber's name. I would just call him the California Kid. Like, I was so new to it. You know what I mean? So, but now, hey, look where I am. You know.
Oh yeah, you've been around the world and back.
Oh yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's for sure. What's going on with you guys?
Well, funny thing. So Brian Kelleher was supposed to come on. You know Kelleher, right? Boom.
Yeah, of course.
He wrote, "Dude, my apologies. I shouldn't have smoked weed earlier. I fucking passed out."
I told my buddies, so I came to my buddies, and I brought a couple of swishers on my way here, but I was waiting. I was like, I don't want to get stupid. I was like, I'll wait till I'm done with this, and then I'll join you guys.
Oh, you could have smoked on the show. The only person, we've had only one person, I think, smoke weed on the show, and that was Crazy Horse.
Well, it's legal in California.
Do not call
Felony.
it that, Sam.
Felony Charles Bennett. I apologize.
It's legal. It's legal in California. Hold on. You know what? Hold on a second. Yo, Jordan,
He rolled it the whole
can I
night.
get one of the blunts?
Bro,
Please? Okay. I mean, look, I'm a trendsetter, right? That's what you said.
yep.
So I may not be the first one with this, but I'll still make it to the list.
Oh, yeah. This is your second appearance, your first time on video. So right now, this is like your pilot episode for Al Chapo.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. But again, I got to kind of keep that away from the Turkish community because it still doesn't look great. But I am who I am. Like, I have no secrets. And that's, I think, big. Like, I'm not trying to create a fake image where I'm not a role model, man. I never try to be a role model. I am who I am.
Yeah.
What the fuck is crew? You're over here repping crew on your shirt, your hat. What's going on?
Yeah. No. Crew? Nothing. It's my crew. It's me and my team versus everybody else.
Is that your brand? Is that
no. This is actually you know Supra. It's like a skateboarding brand like Vans. It's a California thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. But people always ask, well, Supra isn't as big anymore, but it's still one of my favorite. And it gets a lot of attention. Like nobody knows what it is. You know what I mean?
So you're on Menace and the Man here, Alp, dressed like a 29-year-old skateboarder. I didn't want
34.
I didn't want to say 40. Yeah, I didn't want to go 40.
Stan is nicer.
That famous Conor McGregor line.
He's definitely nicer. Because when you first came on, I'm like, dude, with your beard long, you look like Bin Laden.
Oh God, I definitely trimmed it a little better when this whole quarantine thing started. Dude, I looked bad. Like I was like, I actually was not gonna even trim it.
Do you always go to a barber to get it trimmed down, or?
No, I do it. I actually invested in a good trimmer from Costco. I actually do it myself at home, and it's super easy. And I think I do an okay job.
Well, even Alp.
Listen, I'm used to like clean cut Alp. So you with this beard, I'm like, God damn, he does look like he's from over there.
Well, even
I don't know. I'm gonna ask Stan. Stan, what do you think?
What, the beard? The beard looks great.
Thank you.
But even
all right, guys.
It's great, but he looks like.
Oh, there we go. Alp Ozkilic's in the club.
Cheers.
Oh, wow.
When you trained here, you were just with Longo, or did you ever go to Bellmore?
He
was all over the place.
Yeah.
He was at Long Island MMA. He was like Aljamain when Aljamain first moved to Long Island. Aljamain was at Long Island MMA. He was at Law Alp, Long Island MMA, Bellmore Kickboxing. He was like he would go anywhere.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Are you talking about Aljo or me?
You.
Now.
First Aljo, then you.
Yeah. Aljo's story was a bit different. I know his story, but I'll tell you like how mine ended up being. So when people ask, and again, I'm comfortable talking about this now because I'm in peace with myself, right? So I should have never left my first. I moved to New York from St. Louis, right? That's where I started doing mixed martial arts. I mean, I had lived in New York before. Dennis knows. I wrestled at Nassau with L.A. Kunta, Chris Wade, and Weidman was before us. You know, Jay Hiron went to Nassau. We all went to the same school. There are actually good names came out of that school. Andre Harrison was my teammate.
Phil Baroni.
A lot of us made it.
Yeah, a lot of
Phil Baroni was before me.
Yeah.
So here's I didn't enjoy my life in St. Louis. I lived in a small town called St. Charles, Missouri, right? whitest town ever. No diversity, nothing going on. Like I would have to drive 45 minutes to go get even like the basic cultured food. If I, something closer to my culture, you know what I mean? Or it was different. No disrespect to anybody. When you're as international as I am, you want a little bit of diversity. You know what I mean? You just want to feel good, comfortable. And people loved me in that town. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loved me and respected me. But even like with the music I listened to or the way I dressed, I always looked like I looked so different to them. And like I didn't have a lot of common with the people there. So I was already like, I didn't enjoy my life. I didn't enjoy the weather there, the whatever, like, just personal shit. And once I got in, I was already looking for different teams just to get out of there. And again, I still talk to my coach. My coach name is Mike Rogers, right? From the small ass town gym, we had guys to the UFC, we had guys to Bellator, we had guys to Strikeforce. A bunch of us got bonuses. Like we all did great. Like my coach did great for all of us. And I should have never left him, but I got his blessing even after I left him. I'm still in touch, and I was even able to pay him a couple times after some of my other fights after I left him, just to show him my gratitude. And it's just literally one night, I was either gonna go to Alliance in San Diego, or I was gonna go back to New York, where most of my friends were, And literally, I talked to Eric Del Fiero. I'm like, I'm thinking about coming. I literally told him yes, like in 2 weeks I'm moving there. And then over one night, I just made the decision to move back to New York. And I had met Keith at the time, Bellmore. And I actually met Keith at one of my fights. He was cornering Ryan LaFair. And I met him. I told him I was going to come visit. I was going to go visit my friends. And I was, hey, can I stop by the gym and work out? And, we'll talk about things. And he said yes. And it wasn't the best fit for me. You know what I mean? I have nothing against Keith. I think he's a great coach. The whole thing there, I was just, I don't know. I was maybe depressed with my life, and I just wanted to get out of St. Louis, if that makes sense. But I ended up being in New York because New York, I have so much respect for people that are from New York. It is not easy to live there, especially if you're training. Even like you trying to go to a different gym or like trying to go get your physicals done for work, for fights. Like sometimes you have to go to Queens and drive and, like ton of different shit, man. Like it's just not easy. You know what I mean? Whereas life was.
I can see your stress coming from it, and I hated it because we both came from a wrestling community where it's like, yo, train there, train there, train there. Dope.
Exactly.
Where these MMA schools have like jiu-jitsu kind of like
politics.
Yeah.
Like you train here.
And politics. Yes,
you're right. Train over there.
You say it again?
Like you train here. What's over there? Why would you train over there? You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
kind of like this.
And in this situation, it's the fighters that are also being treated wrong. You know what I mean? Like coaches and the gym owners always kind of look after themselves. But like as a fighter, I should be able to go get what's best for me. You know what I mean?
I thought you did an awesome job because you trained at 3-4 different gyms when they'd be like, yo, why don't you just train here? You're like, I don't know, it's good work over there. It's not, it couldn't be argued kind of like, Aljamain was a better training partner for you than I was in certain departments. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, look, it was good and bad. I was able to go train with everybody, but at the same time, I didn't really belong to a team where I actually, like when I trained, Keith was my head coach. He was my main gym. But then I hung out with Serra Longo guys a lot more because like we didn't really have a team thing in Bellmore, right? And I have nothing against those people. Look, Keith did his best for me. It was just not in the long run, it just didn't work for me. Yeah. I think he's an amazing coach. And I got this compliment too after I was able to, after a while I started training with Keith, people were, your stand-up got so much better. And I think he's a great stand-up coach. But then I would only do, a certain amount of mitts with him, and then I would have to go get other training elsewhere. And I was kind of like running my own training.
I was in the same shoes. I was in the same shoes as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I knew there was really good grappling over at like Serra Longo's.
Yeah.
So I'd go to Matt Serra's jiu-jitsu classes like once a week. I would hit mitts with Keith. Then I would do like MMA at Long Island MMA and get some wrestling in. I would go to Hofstra to get wrestling in. I know you spent a lot of time in Hofstra wrestling.
Oh, yes. And as a wrestler, because my mentality was this. As a wrestler, I had to go get wrestling training, put my shoes on, go, be able to beat up college kids. then I would feel confident. Like I would be like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in shape and hanging with those guys, and again, I was just telling somebody about this when the other day when Henry Cejudo said, like wrestling, his Olympic medal is the best thing he's ever done in his life. On top of all the belts he got in the UFC, right? Like he says, wrestling is the hardest sport. But I was explaining to somebody, and I really got goosebumps. Even like me, I had to go grind and get some wrestling practice so that I would feel like I'm in shape, But again, but I kind of ran my own training. So, and not that I cheated with training, it just maybe because like my coach in St. Louis was more like a father figure. Like he helped me with everything. Even like summertime, like he never charged me a penny since day one. You know what I mean? Like I was just comfortable with the guy, like, and he wasn't, and he was the guy. He wasn't that much involved in training. Like he wouldn't hold pads. Like he was.
I've been there. And that's a shitty part from wrestling to MMA. I've been there a few times where like in wrestling, someone would take their time in the day and spend hours with you every day to help you because they just want to see you do good. In MMA, you'd fight, boom, 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 and they're like, "Yo,
yeah." Even I'll tell you.
Did you write me a check yet? You're like, "Oh, I didn't know."
And I'll tell you how good of a guy was my MMA coach was. And he was a high school wrestling coach first, Mike Rogers, right? And please, whoever is listening, look up St. Charles MMA and see who came out of that gym. Like great, very underrated, one of the best gyms in the Midwest. It's just a bunch of tough people and a great head coach that cares about everybody as a human being. Like he's a very genuine person. And I think that energy, that chemistry really, really matters in this sport. It does, And even Tyron Woodley came out of the gym. He never talks about it because I don't know why. Ask him. My coach was Tyron Woodley's high school wrestling coach. My coach put Tyron into Mizzou, helped him get in there. My coach started him in MMA. He got him into Strike Force, and then my coach said, "Hey, like you need a manager now. Like this is how much I can do." And then Tyron went a different way. That's his choice, and whatever. Like he never really even tries to honor those people by mentioning their names, the team's names, and my coach's name. But this is decision. There's nothing I can say about that.
Well, Woodley fell in and out of love with them.
Yeah. I mean, he thought he was better than everybody. Maybe at the end of the day.
Oh wait, you didn't get the joke. That's that song that he sings.
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, maybe I didn't because I don't listen to him. I'm sorry because I don't listen.
I've only heard one Tyron Woodley song. Stan.
I heard "I'll Beat Your Ass" and I personally thought it was terrible,
bro.
And I thought
he got roasted recently because he had a song.
It was terrible, guys.
He had a song like "I keep falling in and out of love with you, in and out of love with you," and it was the worst song.
Oh, okay, thank you. We're on the same page. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
because I mean, hey, look, if I don't like it, I'm gonna say it. So.
Yeah, no, we love Woodley here, but we gotta call a spade a spade. But even out before we let you get out of here, a question we want to ask everybody we get on for the coming time: Justin Gaethje versus Khabib. Who do you think wins?
You know what? I think I'm gonna pick Justin Gaethje this time.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
Yeah,
I would have thought you'd been Khabib all day.
Look, I don't get me wrong. I'm a Khabib guy. I love representing my, called like there. I'm gonna between the two. I'm gonna pick. He comes from my area, like my, kind of my people.
Yeah, but you didn't pick him.
I would pick him, but I'm making you a technical. What I say makes sense. I think a logical.
So you're going logical opinion. Khabib, but you think that's how we when we tell people who you think is a win. Who do you want to win? But who's going to win? I want
Khabib to win, but I think Justin Gaethje will win this time.
Okay.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we picked. We all picked Gaethje over Ferguson.
Okay, I didn't.
Not you, Stan. You piece of shit.
What'd you say?
Not you.
Not me.
What did I say?
Oh, you wanted Tony to win, though, didn't you?
No, that was Cruz. That was Cruz Cejudo. I wanted Cruz to win. But I thought Cejudo was going to win. I picked Gaethje all day. What do you mean? Take that back.
Hey, that's between you guys. I don't want to be in the middle of this.
Menace. He's a mean cat. But out.
Yes.
But out. I'll definitely slide in the DMs. I want to know more about the show. We'll definitely we will definitely do something else in the future.
Yes, I would love to have both you guys on there. Hopefully, if you. Stan, if you let me, I think it'll be, if you save a couple hours of your time, and I am gonna call you actually personally and ask you a couple more questions about this whole thing. So
yeah, all day. I was going to slide in your DMs and say, Alp, let's set up a show. I didn't know you were already working on one, so 100%. Let's do whatever we got to do.
But I would love to have you guys, every once in a while as a co-host or whatever you want to do. But, you have my number. You have the slide.
You bet your bottom dollar.
Absolutely, Alp. So we'll touch base again when a fight's coming up. We'll either get you on for a fight companion or we'll get you on for some picks or something. And
awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, Stan. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be in touch, Alp. You're the man.
Of course, for sure. Thank you guys for having me. Good seeing you guys.
Thank you for the time. Enjoy California.
Will do. You're back.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alp, the Turkish Delight Ozkilic. I'm a big Alp fan.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it is when you meet a guy and you just bullshit with him and you're like, oh, okay, there's no ego here. He's fucking cool.
Yeah, he means well. If he can show you something or help you train, he's in. He's one of those guys that I have to eat right now.
And you and him used to frequent the Hofstra dressing room. I've seen some photos.
Yeah, he was one of the other guys I'd see in there. Like, not like, hey, Alp, want to go to Hofstra wrestle? Like, I'd go in there. He's already in there. I'm like, yo, what's up, motherfucker?